Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What's popping, guys? Welcome to ZeerTalks, and welcome for the first time ever in a while to Al Hilal Saudi Football Club Talks. Usually I do as a stream, but I was like, you know what, I'm not feeling the best, so I'm gonna make it a short video. And I'm just gonna talk about what's been going on at Al Hilal for the past week. So for those who don't know, actually, for those who don't know, before I quickly move on to this, leadership has changed, is what's happened at Al Hilal. But before I begin, guys, you know exactly what to do. Subscribe, press the alarm bells for future content notifications, like, comment your way, go check socials, and inshallah, well, wherever you may be. As you can clearly tell, I'm not feeling the most well. So I'm like, you know what? Rather than doing it as a stream, I'll just do it as a video. And then I might be back by the time Monday Night Raw kicks off. I might do a stream on that. If I don't put anything out there, means I'm not doing it. So there you go. Now, as we talk about Al Hilal pretty quickly, let me show you what happened. So, for those who are unaware, Al Hilal fans have been calling out for this. They've been wanting Fahad Bin Nafel to be resigning, and he did. And there you go, from Al Hilal officially, right? And it says ذهبا ومجد ذهبا ومجد شكرا, which means gold and glory. Thank you, President Fahad Al Nafel. So obviously they didn't say Rais. Rais means president, but anyway, you get the point. Listen, man. Before I talk about who's replacing him, I have to say, for those who want Fahad Bin Nafel out, in my opinion, I don't get it. I never understood it, because Fahad Bin Nafel, and this is just the way I see it, without him, I don't think we are as successful as we are right now. I don't think people grasp this. Like, don't get it twisted. I know we've won a lot before him, but I feel like we've sustained with him. And with him, like, if I was to look at his resume, look, like, let's have a look at this quickly. Let me zoom in and show you all the trophy that was won under his regime, under his reign. Look at all the look 2 Champions Leagues, right? Got the leagues. Obviously, he's won more than one league, but then actually, there you go. Look at these, right? And you have the King's Cup and etc. Like, the guy's won so much. Like, obviously the players do their job, but he's the guy that makes sure that picks the right management. He makes sure that he approves certain players that join the club. Like, I know people think that it's PIF this, PIF. By the way, I just realized something. I didn't even put the Hilal background. How dare I? Ya Allah. Boom. There we go. But now it's Hilal. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, yes, PIF, they give funds, they pick specific players to bring in, cool. But there are other players, like the Saudi ones, the ones that are not really start. Like, he plays a role in these guys coming in and leaving the club, at least in making the final say, or having the final say and all that stuff. So, and then with management as well. Like, by the way, without Fahad Bin Nafel, we don't get Inzaghi in. Like, you know what I mean? Now, I will tell you guys one thing here. Inzaghi could go very well, could go very south, depending on how he manages games when it matters most. Because I've heard from some Serie A fans, they do say that when it comes to substitutions, he can be very annoying when it matters most. And I noticed that against Fluminense. But from what I've seen in Europe, and I know he won, I think, 1 or 2 leagues, done his job, man. You know what I mean? That's more than I can say for a lot of managers in Europe. So, yeah, it's just one of those, really. Like, I will say, though, with Fahad Bin Nafel, one thing that he did so wrong, and he does deserve to get called out for this, he kept Jorge Jesus for way too long. Way too long. And by then, the season was over. By then, البطولة الدوري كلها مع السلامة. It got to a stage in the final day because of what happened with the Nasser and whatever. We had to fight for second place in Champions League spot because Al Ahly won the Nukhba AFC Champions League Elite. So then there was only one spot left. And we got that spot luckily, but this is the problem when you rely on Jesus for too long and then you have Shilhoop taking the remaining time of the reign for like a few games. It's jarring, you know what I mean? So yeah, I get why they want him out because he wasn't as proactive towards the end of last season. But then look at our run in the Club World Cup. Look how happy he felt when we made as far as we could. You know, now could we have done more? 100%. I think we should have made the final the moment we beat Man City. Even though Chelsea won the competition, congrats. But why couldn't we give Chelsea a run for our money if we can give Man City and Real Madrid a run for the money? You know what I mean? Like, it's these things that made me think like the opportunity was there and we didn't take it. But the point is, Fahad Bin Nafel was happy the way he was when he was shitting in tears when we made it through past City, you know? And same with the guy I mean, he wasn't crap, but he was also happy. The guy I'm about to talk about that's replacing him, like, most likely. Like, these are the things that makes me think, like, I think we need to be a bit more grateful for, actually, not a bit, way more grateful for Fahad Bin Nafel, you know? And to be fair to Fahad Bin Nafel, he wanted to step down himself. And he feels like he's letting the club down, you know, and he's trying to be self-aware. والله يحترم هالحاجة. I really respect that stuff. I really respect self-awareness from certain people. But I think for the most part of his reign, he done his job. I really do. I'm not just saying this like because I'm a Hilal fan. Trust me, I'll call out Al Hilal when I have to. I do the same with Bayern Munich every single time. But if we're keeping it 100, he did what he had to do, and these trophies are there for you to see. Right there. You know? Now, that's my thoughts on everything. الله يوفقه إن شاء الله with whatever he does. وأشكر القدومة النادي الهلال برئيس الهلال. I want to talk about the guy replacing him. Now, apparently, the guy replacing him actually took over the reins and board of directors at one point. His name is شو اسمه Nawaf Bin Saad. Emir Nawaf Bin Saad, Prince Nawaf Bin Saad. He actually at one point took over the reins. And basically, it's looking like he's going to be taking over Fahad's place as president of the club. Now, what do I think of him? I'm going to be really honest. I don't know too much information about him, but based on what I've heard from my relatives, he done a lot for the club back then as well. And to be fair, he's been around Al Hilal for a bit. That's one thing I've learned doing more research on him. So, yeah, it is one of them. So, yeah, this is what it looks like is going to happen. And this is one I took out of Akhbar Al Hilal. It's in Arabic, so I translate. It says, Sliman Hattan, Deputy President Prince Nawaf Bin Saad, the Board of Directors of Al Hilal. الله يوفقهم إن شاء الله يا رب بالضبط. الله يوفقهم إن شاء الله. And listen, all I ask is they replicate what Fahad Bin Nafel has done. I don't know if Nawaf Bin Saad, him specifically, will be able to do that. Allah A'lam, we will see. But for the most part, again, one thing I'll give credit to Al Hilal for, and I know people be like, oh, everything's favored to Al Hilal, this, yada, yada, yada. بيشتكون على فاضي. تحكيم الهلال. That's all they do, you know, but in reality, it's about winning standards to some degree. You know, like, all I want is intent. This club, to some degree, shows intent. Actually, I think they show too much intent. If I'm being honest, too much intent. If you saw what they tried doing to get Osimhen, and now he's with Galatasaray, or for Bruno Fernandes, this Haiwan, they were putting so much effort into actually getting this guy in. وفشلوا. I mean, okay, good. I didn't want him. I mean, it's not good enough that you failed to get him, but I'm happy that you failed. So, like, and to be fair, he chose to stay. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, man, for me, Hamshay is we prepare for the season. I mean, the fact that we even dropped out of the what you call it, Super Cup, which I know Al Hilal fans will say, oh, but we played in the Club World Cup, players تعبان, لاعبين تعبانين, they're tired. هذه كلها كلام فاضي. خذ الكلام هذه وارميها في البحر. Take this saying and throw it in the ocean. I'm sorry, because realistically speaking, like, now, because you've done this, guess what? Now I expect trophies. More so than ever. Especially under Inzaghi. So, Tawfiq, man, you guys put yourself in that position. And personally, for me, everyone is going to get an element of rest. And that Super Cup, isn't it in the 20th of August? Well, teams from Europe, by the way, they're playing friendlies and they're playing Super Cups and starting the league before we even get to our Super Cup, yet we chose to back out from it. بصراحة أنا ماني فاهم وش تفكيرهم، وحتى إذا تفكيرهم إنه ما يبغى يجيبوا إصابات وكذا وكذا كذا if they don't want to get injuries here. Personally, for me, I'm not buying it. I think they should have played in that competition, tried to win that, build momentum for the league. نخبة, كأس الملك, and we move. But again, inshallah, back to the conversation that Nawaf Bin Saad does a good job. Fahad Bin Nafel, أشكرك, يعطيك العافية, بالتوفيق في شغلك اللي جاي بالقادم المستقبل. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Guys, you already know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment your way. Go check ZeerTalks socials, and inshallah you're well wherever you may be. As you can tell, I'm not really well. So, yeah, until then, next time. Maybe I'll do Raw, I'm not sure. See you later.